Hi, Marsha Grace here. It's Friday, and it's time for New Day, New Word. And because we're starting a new segment, or whatever you want to call it, because we finished up last week with our alphabet, 26 weeks, we did a new word every day. So last night I was saying, well, what are we going to do now? This is our time together. What can we do now? And I decided that what would be fun to do would be to do some, like a little book group. And I could share with you books that have meant a lot to me over the years, that have been part of my spiritual process. So that's what I decided would be a great idea. And I want to give you the first book that has absolutely been the most influential and life-changing book for me that I've ever read. It's really pointed me in the direction of my life to become a teacher and to become a writer. So I'm very grateful for this book, and I'm going to share it with you in the different forms that I've received it through the years, because it's been published in numerous different ways. So I won't keep you in suspense anymore. It does begin with the letter A, but we're not doing alphabets anymore. It's called A Course in Miracles, and you've probably heard me mention it before. It originally was published in 1975 or 6, I think, 76. And wait a minute, I could tell you in a second, because this is my original, one of my original books. I know that the letters are going to be, the writing is going to be backwards. 1975. Okay. And it originally was published in 3 volumes. It's a metaphysical study, self-study course, but people have had trouble. 1, 2. This is the workbook. This is the manual. And this is the text. And as you can see, it started to fall apart on me. I had to glue it back together. And so then I went to the next, the next publication. And this one was a soft cover, 3-in-1. All 3 of those big books were able to be put into this volume. And again, it started to fall apart because I read it all the time. And because the print was smaller and the paper was much thinner, they could put all 3 volumes into this one volume, which was pretty amazing. And now today, I have my newest edition, which is the 3rd edition, published by the Foundation for Inner Peace. And that edition is also, it's a hardcover 3-in-1. So it's over there. I'm not going to get it right now. But anyway, I just wanted to share what the cover looks like with you and tell you a little bit about it. As I said, it came in 3 volumes, and it is really so amazingly radical. I use the word radical because when I started reading it, first of all, I didn't understand mostly anything. And then secondly, what I did understand rocked my world. It literally rocked my world. It just made me, it was like cracking open an egg and exposing all this loose jelly stuff to the air, to be examined and looked at for the first time. So I would like to read to you my favorite lesson from the workbook. There are 365 lessons in the workbook. Again, here's the original workbook. And I'm going to read lesson 267, which has been a it's just well, you'll see what I mean when I read it. It's called My Heart is Beating in the Peace of God. Surrounding me is all the life that God created in his love. It calls to me in every heartbeat and in every breath, in every action and in every thought. Peace fills my heart and floods my body with the purpose of forgiveness. Now my mind is healed, and all I need to save the world is given me. Each heartbeat brings me peace. Each breath infuses me with strength. I am a messenger of God, directed by his voice, sustained by him in love, and held forever quiet and in peace within his loving arms. Each heartbeat calls his name, and every one is answered by his voice, assuring me I am at home in him. Every time I read that, it's always fresh and new, and it just inspires me to remember what I'm here for, what my purpose is. Peace fills my heart, floods my body. All I need to save the world is given me. How do we save the world? I mean, that seems like a pretty outrageous idea. Am I here to save the world? And of course, as we read the Course, it doesn't mean that we're supposed to go out there and, I don't know, gather up an army and do something. It means that we want to save the world from our misperceptions. That's really what it means. Because when I perceive another person or a situation in a negative way, who suffers as a result of that? I do. So by saving the world, that I'm seeing, this is my perception, I'm seeing this in the world. By saving that world, by forgiving it, as he says here, peace fills my heart and floods my body with the purpose of forgiveness. That is what this book is all about. That one major idea of forgiveness. And it comes, when we talk about forgiveness, I'm not going to go into a whole discussion of that. But when we talk about forgiveness, we're not talking about how we generally think of forgiveness. Oh, you poor, foolish person, you did this silly thing. I'll let it go. I'll just ignore it. And that's forgiveness. No, that's not forgiveness in the Course. And we, as we study this material, we go deeper and deeper and deeper into understanding what forgiveness really means. So, and that's been my process all down through these years since 1978 when I first got my first book. And it's an ongoing process. It's, as all spiritual processes are, you don't have to be a Course in Miracles student to be on a spiritual path. But we do know that it's a lifelong process. It never comes to an end, not because it's difficult or because there's no end to it, but simply because there is joy in the journey. As long as we are here, as long as we walk this earth and communicate with other people, we need a tool. We need something to help us negotiate those relationships, because as we all know, relationships can be an opportunity at times, as I like to say. So this is a book that's changed my life, and of course, as a result, I have written. My new book is just coming out. It's Calm, Creative, Joyful: Lessons in Transforming Your Life, and it's about the workbook in the Course in Miracles. So I just needed to tell you how important this book is to me. Now, next week, I thought it would be nice if I would mention another book that I've enjoyed reading and that's been a tremendous learning experience, and that's M. Scott Peck's book, The Road Less Traveled. I didn't bring it over here. Did I? Yes. The Road Less Traveled. Here it is, backwards, I know, but anyway. So I thought we'd talk about that book next week. So if you this week want to grab a copy and make a comment, that would be wonderful. So have a beautiful week, many blessings, and hopefully spring will arrive soon. Bye-bye now.